Morning, everyone. We are here to present the research work titled Self-Heal Conversational Therapy Board with AI-Enhanced Features for Mental Health, authorized by people mentioned in the slide. Let's move on to the next slide. The paper was presented at 2024 8th International Conference on Computational System and Information Technology for Sustainable Solution, held in Bangalore, India from November 7th to 9th, 2024. Let's move on to the next slide. This is a table of content we are going to cover throughout the presentation. Let's move on to the introduction. First, we are focusing on the overview of the research paper. The objective of the research paper is to provide accessible mental health support throughout AI-powered application. The core features of the research is to conversational therapy board with voice-enabled capabilities. The technologies that they are utilized, advanced NLP and machine learning to derive empathic, personalized conversation. The enhanced insight integrates sentimental analysis to understand user emotional state. The goal of the research is to offer stigma-free, user-friendly platform to emotional guidance and mental well-being. Let's move on to the next slide. Behind the studies theme for the growing mental health concern among the students worldwide. Today, depression and anxiety are becoming increasingly common among school and university students due to academic pressure, personal challenges, and social isolation. Suicide is reported as a third leading cause of the death among individuals aged 15 to 24. The situation has put pressure on healthcare system to highlight the urgent need for accessible and scalable mental health support students. The role of the technology in mental health to address this growing concern, technology, especially AI-driven conversational agent, has shown great promise. Chatbots are now being explored for their potential to provide immediate stigma-free support, facilitate confidential conversation, and guide user with non-judgment responses. The use of conversational AI open a new pathway for mental health intervention, especially among the youth who are more comfortable with digital interface. Let's move to the next slide. The objective of the study is the main objective is the research is to develop a responsive mental health chatbot, especially designed for students. The bot is built to enable natural interaction through both voice and text, use NLP and machine learning to recognize user sentimental and with empathies, offer emergency support, relevant mental health resources, and mood tracking capabilities, and promise self-awareness and emotional regulation by delivering self-help content. This work aimed to make mental health support more approachable and readily available, especially for those who may hesitate to seek traditional help. I would like to hand over it to Lahiru to continue.
Thank you, Darcy. Now let's look at what existing research tells us about AI in mental health and how that shaped its work. One standout example is the Bungi chatbot. It uses the RASA framework along with behavioral activation techniques. It goes beyond scripted replies to provide more personalized support. Another area of research focuses on emotional detection from speech that using Unispeech set embedding. This allows system to better pick up on emotional cues, making chatbot interaction more empathetic. A randomized study by Alio explored AI chatbot interventions for student depression. The results were promising. Students showed reduced anxiety and depression and reported better engagement with the chatbot than traditional methods like bibliotherapy. The Heal Me model is another interesting case. It uses a large language model like ChatGPT and Llama 2 to simulate the therapist-client conversations. The model focuses on techniques like separating emotions from facts and generating supportive responses. Research also shows that chatbots are now being used in areas like screening and early interventions from mental illness, especially in clinic settings for disorder like depression. Now let's talk about what makes self-heal different and how it pulls together these ideas. A voice interface, sentiment classification, and combination of GPT-2 and RASA technologies, all with the design goal of creating a more accessible and caring experience. Now moving into the methodology. This is how the system was actually built. This use RASA to identify the user intent and GPT to fine-tune with therapy-style conversations to generate empathetic replies. This allows the chatbot to hold natural, emotional aware conversations. For voice functionality, speech to text and text to speech APIs were used. So users can talk, can listen, not just type and read. And use Rogata for sentiment analysis, helping the bot recognize whether someone's feeling positive, neutral, or negative, crucial in any mental health tool. The backend was built with Python and Flask, while MongoDB stores user data securely, faster than encrypted using Byscript for privacy. Altogether, the system created a responsive, empathetic virtual space for mental health support, designed to be both intelligent and emotional aware. Next, I will hand over the presentation to Situmini. She will talk about the system architecture and key features. Thank you.
In this paper, the authors describe a system that start with the user speaking, that means voice chat. The voice is turned into text using speech to text API. Then the system uses NLP to understand what the user means. GPT to generate the responses in this application. That reply is then spoken out using text to speech API. So the system talks back to the user while this is happening. Two background tasks run. One checks the emergency cases or strong emotions. The other saves the data to MongoDB. This setup allows the system to give real-time voice replies and check for emergency to same time. And now we are going to move into the next slide to talk about the data set and training. The system is, in this case, the system is trained using therapy data from Hugging Face, which include conversation made of human prompt and GPT responses. Before training, they merge the prompts and responses, use the GPT to tokenizer, pattern train the text to feed and batch the data for training. This helps the model learn how to give more natural and empathetic responses. Now I'm going to talk about the functional highlights in this conference paper. In next slide shows the main features of this application. It supports voice interaction through STT and TTS APIs. It checks the emotions using Robota model, detects to emotional model, that means sentimental model. There's an emergency button to send SMS to trusted person. It also offers self-help tools like yoga, journaling, and podcasts, and it keeps user data secure with a biometric password hashing. And now I'm going to invite to Suleiman to continue our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Situmini. So now we are moving to the results and visual output section. Let's look at how the proposed system was implemented and what outcomes the authors have reported. So researchers implemented a secure user registration system where key user information like name, date of birth, emergency contact, and location is stored in MongoDB to ensure the security, especially for sensitive information like password, telephone numbers. The system uses decrypt encryption. As shown in the visual output, the passwords are hashed before being stored, which enhances user privacy and system security. Next, chatbot interface is a key feature that highlighted in the paper. That's built using Rasa and integrated with GPT-2. This setup allows for meaningful context-aware conversations with users. The paper includes visual logs of the function action LLM generate response therapy, which shows how the chatbot processes input, generates a response using GPT-2, and logs this activity for monitoring and improvement. Next, emergency alert system is also a particularly important feature. When the chatbot detects self-harm related language from a user, it can trigger an emergency response. Specifically, the chatbot activates the button that sends an SMS alert to the user's emergency contact. This adds an extra layer of safety, especially in critical situations. Next, sentiment analysis part. So that the paper also described the use of a Robota-based model from the Cardiff NLP group for sentiment analysis. For example, when a user says, "I felt happy," it shows 98% positive score. And if he says, "I felt lonely because I fought with my friend," something like that, the score shifts from 94% negativity. So this helps in understanding emotional trends, which can be crucial for tailoring responses or suggesting coping strategies. So in next slide, it shows some visual outputs of the self-harm system. On the left side, we see the emergency alert feature in action, where an automated SMS is triggered when a self-harm risk is detected. On the right, we have a sample conversation from the chatbot interface, demonstrating empathetic, emotionally aware responses generated by the GPT-2 integrated AI assistant. These visuals emphasize the system's core focus on real-time support, user safety, and emotionally intelligent interaction. Finally, let's take a look at the paper's conclusion and the future direction envisioned by the researchers. The authors conclude that the self-heal chatbot serves as a supportive digital companion, particularly aimed at users dealing with early stages of stress, anxiety, and depression. While leveraging AI technologies like GPT-2 and integrating features such as sentiment analysis and emergency alerts, the system offers a blend of empathy and technical intelligence. While it does not replace professional therapy, it provides a first line of support, helping users open up, feel heard, and access timely guidance in a non-judgmental space. So we can also identify some limitations, which are the chatbot mainly targets the initial mental health challenges and might not be sufficient for more severe or long-term conditions. The system's ability to adapt to evolving language and complex emotional nuances also has room for improvement. So moving on to the future scope, authors suggest several directions. So they are saying that multilingual support, enhancing the system to support multiple languages and crucial contexts to reach a wider and more diverse user base. Next, expand mental health coverage, including conditions like PTSD and OCD to broaden the system's therapeutic utility. And also the more real-time learning, improving the chatbot's adaptability to evolving user behavior and emotionally cues through continuous learning. To sum up, the self-heal chatbot is a promising step forward in merging AI with mental health care. To sum up, the self-heal chatbot is a promising step forward in merging AI with mental health care, not as a replacement for human therapists, but as a meaningful companion that offers support, safety, and encouragement to those who need it most. So, thank you.